What's up, people? Seanstradamus from Sports Genius, formerly known as Sean Down. Let's just get off into it. I wasn't gonna shoot this episode because I got so much fucking hatred in my heart for Detroit and their fans and their team, everything about it. But you know what? I just figured, what the fuck? I'm gonna go on ahead and get this out of my system and just say it. Detroit is a bunch of low rent, low class motherfuckers, down from the team to the fans to everyone, just everything. These motherfuckers ain't never had nothing, so therefore they will defend the fucking devil if that devil brings them something that they deem good. If Donald Trump was from Detroit, you'd see motherfuckers walking around with 6-button suits, pointy-toed shoes, and orange hair. That's what the fuck they would do. That's how fucking desperate they are for a winner. Because this is unfucking believably ridiculous how they can constantly try and defend Isaiah Thomas and defend Bill Laimbeer when every other, it was like 15 fucking players on those Pistons teams of the 80s and the early 90s, and every last 13 of them motherfuckers have come out and said, we know what we did was bogus, but guess what? Nobody was calling the foul, so fuck you. I can honor that. I'm the king of skirting the rules. I won PlayStation championships from fake punts and shit. I was always the guy to just color outside the line. I have no problem with that, as long as you admit it when you're caught. But those two motherfuckers, Laimbeer, I don't even pay him no mind because he's just a privileged white boy. If you look up white privilege in the fucking dictionary, his picture is in there. He was rich before he before he started playing basketball. So he one of those motherfuckers to feel like he can do anything he want to do because he got his daddy to fall back on. He reminds me, I saw like 3 episodes of Scandal on Channel 7. Don't ask me why. I think I was hungover or some shit and I couldn't change the channel and find a remote. I saw like 3 episodes of Scandal and all this nigga Fitz talked about was his daddy. So that's who fucking Laimbeer reminds me of, some big, tall, goof-ass white boy. So we'll leave him to the side. But this dude, Isaiah Thomas, is a fucking scumbag, a liar. He recreates stories every fucking time. Like, he's the type of nigga that would start an argument in an empty room. And it still be somebody else's fault, according to him. He be trying to explain it. Time out, that's not what happened. I was in the room by myself, but that ain't how the argument started. Like, shut the fuck up. Why the fuck are you always involved in some kind of scandal? Oh, man, Jordan kept me off the Olympic team. How the fuck? Okay, now I wish Jordan would admit that he had something to do with keeping him off the Olympic team, because he did. No matter what anybody said, he did. Because contrary to popular belief, I have one of the best memories around, and I remember what happened back in 92, 91, when those Olympic teams were chosen for the summer of 92 Olympics. Jordan was handed 2 rosters. One roster with Isaiah Thomas on it, one roster with Isaiah Thomas off of it. The roster with Isaiah Thomas on it, he said, I'm not playing. The roster with Isaiah Thomas off of it, he said, I see you niggas at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, a dog can do that math as to what that meant. But what blows my mind, what makes me sick, the reason why Isaiah just makes my fucking ass itch, is the fact that he just fabricates stories and then tries to play the victim. Like, that's the thing that makes me mad. It's like, dude, you did what the fuck they said you did, nigga. He said, oh man, the only people that ever said that I ever heard say they didn't want me on that team was Karl Malone and Scottie Pippen. So you didn't shoot an hour-long session with Magic Johnson 2 to 3 years ago on NBA TV, where Magic Johnson told you, because you called him one of these, that when he got HIV and you started that rumor, he told you that's one of the reasons he didn't vouch for you getting on the team. So that went away. So Michael Jordan had something to do with you saying Larry Bird was just would be a regular guy, a regular player if he wasn't white. Now, you didn't say that. Rodman said it, but you backed him up and said you agreed with it, which virtually means you said it. Jordan had nothing to do with that. Jordan had nothing to do with you going to Indiana, and the minute Larry Bird took over, he called you back from overseas to fire your bitch ass. Jordan had something to do with that too, didn't he? Jordan got somebody got something to do with everything that's going wrong with the people of Detroit. Everything. You got this cum dumpster Jamel Hill coming out there talking about, okay, Isaiah Thomas is a bad person. Can we all agree Karl Malone is a bad person? Like, what? And that's not even how her quote went. She didn't even say Isaiah was a bad person. She said Isaiah Thomas walked off the court. It's an unsportsmanlike. I'm like, what the fuck does Karl Malone have to do with anything? Yes, Karl Malone is a bad person. Yes, Karl Malone fucked a 13-year-old girl and got her pregnant. That's 2 strikes right there. Fucking a 13-year-old girl, getting her pregnant. 2 fucking strikes right there. Yes, he walked out on them and ignored them and didn't even pay child support and shit. That's 3 strikes. Yes, I think he's a fucking Uncle Tom. Yes, that's 4 strikes. Yes, he tried to fuck Kobe Bryant's girl when he was with the Lakers in 2004. Yes, that's 5 strikes. People should punch him in his fucking eye. What the fuck that got to do with you, though? No, you're going to mention that, but then you're going to defend this motherfucker. What about Isaiah Thomas having his sexual harassment cases with the Knicks when he was an executive there? Oh, let's forget about that because he's from Detroit. You motherfuckers make my dick itch. It is unfucking believable, and not even in a fun way, not after doing something fun. You people make me sick. Stop it with the fucking lies. You walked off the court because you're a low-class piece of shit. That's the reason why you walked off the court. That's not even why people are mad at you. People are mad at you because you're trying to recreate the story years later as if motherfuckers wasn't there back then. Talk to somebody born in 1993 to the present about what happened and try and convince them differently. Don't talk to some motherfucking body that was sitting there when it happened. And then you try and drag the Celtics into it talking about what they did. When I went back and I watched video footage, and even the announcer said, when the Celtics started walking off, they was like, yeah, they better get them off the court because it's unsafe out here because the fans in Auburn Hills at the Pontiac Silverdome at the time was getting ready to storm the court. They specifically said that on the newscast. And Boston people took offense this week when you keep trying to drag them motherfuckers into it to justify your bullshit. So fuck you. But that's another thing that grinds my fucking gears. But another thing that grinds my fucking gears is all of these what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if Rodman? You know what I'm saying? I got into an argument with Jason McIntyre from Fox the other day. I believe he blocked me with his pussy ass because I can't see his page no more. But he talking about, he commented on something Chris Broussard said and was like, if the Bulls don't have Dennis Rodman, you know, those last 3 championships, they don't win them. Now, I love Dennis Rodman as a Chicago Bull. I respect him. I forgave him for everything he did with the Pistons because I came to the conclusion that dude is a soldier and he going to basically do whatever the fuck you tell him to do. Isaiah and them told him to fuck you up, he was going to fuck you up. You come over here to Jordan, he tells you to fuck him up, he gonna do that. Same thing with Rick Mahorn. Same reason why Rick Mahorn, as soon as he got to Philadelphia, jumped on Bill Laimbeer. Them niggas are soldiers. That's what the fuck they do. They do what they're told. But they could have won a fucking championship. They could have won 3 championships without Dennis Rodman. And you know why? Because they 3-peated before Dennis Rodman fucking got there. First of all, let's stop talking about this if shit. Like, if Dennis Rodman wasn't, if my uncle didn't have a dick, he'd be my aunt. Like, so stop it with the ifs. He was on there. That's first of all. Second of all, if you take Dennis Rodman off the team, which let's play your game, which I hate playing that if game, but if you take him off the team, who the fuck do you replace him with? See, that's the question nobody ever mentions. They always say, if you take somebody off the team, but they never mention a potential replacement. As if you're going to play 11 on 12 and shit. Or 5 on 4. Like, nigga, I need a replacement for him. And no, I'm not bringing back Will Perdue. I can actually go out there and find an adequate power forward. Because Horace Grant did win 3 championships in a 3-peat. Even though he wouldn't be the one coming back. But who are you going to replace him with? And I can name a couple people that could have done it. I mean, the Bulls could have went out and got Buck Williams, is who they were talking about going to get, who wasn't that old back then. No, Buck Williams ain't Rodman. I'd much rather prefer Rodman, but he's somebody who's just not no loser. But my number one choice would be looking from 97 to 98. If the Bulls had gave Bryson Daly Rodman's money, they could have still 3-peated with them. Because past 96, Rodman wasn't the same Rodman. I mean, he did some good shit in spurts, But in that Utah series in 97 and 98, if Bison Dele was not on that fucking team, the Bulls would not have won the championship. And Rodman was still on that team. I can tell you that right now. But I'm just saying, knock it off with the what ifs. Knock it off with the fucking recreation of history. Just knock it the fuck off, please. If you like this episode, comment. If you didn't like it, comment. Fuck you. If you like it, just go comment, subscribe, and share this shit. And if you don't do it, go fuck your mother. Peace and hair grease.